Jim McCormick with agmarket.net, our guest today. Jim, as we talk about trying to figure out the supply situation, given what's happening between Russia and Ukraine, obviously our livestock producers are kind of caught in the middle of all of this, and they're trying to make the margins work for themselves. The question is, can we ration demand from our livestock producers? And there may be some things out there helping us or forcing us.
Right now, there are.
Right way to say that. Yeah.
We are seeing a little bit of rationing at this point in time. Interesting, the prices are definitely pulling it back, but also what we're seeing, unfortunately, is we're seeing a bird flu situation in the United States. It's been spread across the East Coast, part of Indiana. It's now moving a little bit west, and we are liquidating flocks of birds at this point in time. So that will probably lessen the demand a little bit on the feed side, which is good if you're trying to compete for that feed. But on the other hand, that is going to tighten the protein supply for a market that's relatively tight in essence. Because right now, if you're trying to expand demand, the consumer says, hey, I want that pork, but good luck trying to build that building, getting your supplies to build the building, as well as people to, work in that building. So the supply situation is going to still think are a little bit tough. I think economically in the long run, you got to be a little bit optimistic. I think as people go out, COVID seems like we're past it. We're not hearing people talk about it anymore, which is really nice. And hopefully that's a good sign that you're going to see some demand on the, for the protein. But yes, they're definitely going to be fighting because the feed costs are going to continue to rise, unfortunately, we believe.
Jim, how big of a collision course are we on for the livestock industry with these grain prices?
I think we're on a pretty severe one, to be quite honest, when it's all said and done, unless these producers can get this grain prices under control and lock in these feed needs. We just don't know how high it's going to be. I know late last week, the world, I think, really got spooked when the headline was that there was a gunfight outside a nuclear reactor. And if anybody remembers what happened to the market back in Chernobyl, it exploded higher as we didn't know what that radiation leak would mean for production around the world. And where the firefights going on is some of the most fertile ground in the world. So it's something the world needs to keep an eye on and take a breath. And hopefully we can get this conflict done, because it's a situation that could already take a very tight situation to extremes no one wants to even think about.
All right, Jim, appreciate it. Thank you so much for the insights as always. We'll be back with more Ag Day and a check of weather coming up in just a minute.
To contact Jim McCormick at Ag Market, call 844-4AG-MARKET or visit their website at www.agmarket.net.